Back to the C Morning Show, everyone. Education is the most critical factor in boosting human capital quality, starting from the elementary school level in all areas across the country, including in villages. And as such, special attention is needed to lower the school dropout rate at the most basic levels.
Yes, however, some students still face significant obstacles and challenges in accessing effective education because of economic factors such as, for example, their parents cannot pay their tuition, and this would lead them to quit attending school altogether. And aside from that, infrastructure quality and lack of teachers also influence educational quality.
That's right, Marissa. Now, in addition to economic factors, some children may be falling behind for being unable to follow lessons closely.
Fortunately, there is a non-governmental organization, Gerakan Mengajar Desa, that aims to tackle this issue and boost human development index in villages through better education. And they have grown to become one of the largest educational movements in Indonesia, with thousands of volunteers across the country.
Well, that is certainly good news, but how do they work and how do they aim to reach their goals? So, without any further ado, we have with us in the studio today Gerakan Mengajar Desa CEO Shafa Azahra Siregar. Good morning, Shafa. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you so much.
Great to have you.
Yes, indeed. So what are the actions that you guys are doing in the field to tackle this problem?
Okay, so actually, first thing first, we're going to the village to help the children first when we get started about it. But then after all these years, we think that it's not only for the children, but the society needs it too, because it's not only education, but also from the academic side, right? So we have to tackle this too. And then, we come up with this program where it's not only for children, it's not only about formal education, but also for the non-formal education. So we have those two both.
So can you talk through those two programs in detail? I mean, it's like, yes, you go in, and then what sort of program does the community receive and the children receive?
All right. So as for the children, we will go to the village, of course, and then we will have 7 to 10 days there to help the children, of course. But then as for the non-formal education one, so we have to rate. So as for the non-formal education, we go to the village every single week within 2 until 3 months in a row. So we go there to help solve problems in the village, because the problems are different, and we have lots of different kind of problems in the village. But then we will help them how to solve, but through education. So
For
it's
example?
not
What are some of the more common problems that you come across?
Okay, so it's indeed about the academic, right? So they know how important education is, of course, right? But then they don't have the money to pay. They can't afford it. So then, we come with a new solution that we have to help them, of course, to help their economy. So
So can you talk about the concrete action exactly? Because help is very general, right?
Right.
Just to make sure that, because your focus is about increasing the human development index.
Right.
So what are the specific actions that you do?
The specific action is actually we want to raise awareness that how important education is. That's the very basic thing that we want to tell them, for the children, actually, first thing first that. But then after we know that, they know actually that, education is important, right? So then how can we make them want to study, want to get a good education, right? So then we go to the parents, and then we talk to them, their obstacles and everything. So from there, we know that we have to help them too. But since this is education movement, so we will help them by educate them too. So it's from two
Not just
sides.
the children, but the parents.
Right. So it's from two sides. So that's why non-formal education exists. That's a new one, actually. It's in this year.
You've done a lot of research, I'm sure, throughout all of this. How would you describe the state of our level of education across the country here, especially in more rural areas?
Okay, so it's so that's why Gerakan Mengajar Desa exists from the very first place, because the founders back then, they found that the gap, the gap in education is very, very large.
Okay.
In the same area even. So it was in Cianjur back then. So
Okay.
it was all started in Cianjur. But then they found that, okay, so we have these two different schools in only 2 kilometers. So it's quite,
Very
near,
close by.
right? Close by, right? But they have like a very, very different kind of like quality.
Okay.
In terms of quality, right? So yeah, we
What's
were
the
just
reason behind
wondering.
that? Is it just a lack of standardization or what?
Well, we want to find it out actually
Okay.
why, right? Why? But when we have this kind of holiday session, right? And then we go deeper into like the rural area in Cianjur, and then we found out that this is really, really bad. They don't have that, a good quality that this one has. That we only have this one good quality in Cianjur, and then the rest of it was like, that
Below
was
that.
What sort of
terrible.
solution do you offer to close that gap?
Actually, we want to at least, because of first thing first about the quality rate. We actually talked to the government because they are the person in charge, of course. Actually, Gerakan Mengajar Desa exists to actually we want to be like the person to talk to them, to be the one that this is not right, so we have to like go to them, and then we come to them by providing solutions, I guess, to help them. So yeah, we were going side by side with the government.
Okay.
So yeah.
So I guess being their voice, the voice.
Right,
in order
right,
for
right,
them to speak to the government in order to do
Exactly.
something about this. What's the progress been like so far?
The progress been like so far. Okay, so it's been all over Indonesia right now, Gerakan Mengajar Desa, and then I'm not gonna say it's good now, right? Because it's still,
Still far away.
It's still far away from good, and then we are still in our 4th year, which is still new.
Okay.
So we're still like, evaluating what's the good solution we can bring to them, because we don't have yet like gotten like the conclusion of what should we do with all of this, right? Because every single areas that we go, that we went to, is just different, and they have like different problems,
It's a
right?
problem.
Yeah, and we don't have like the exact solution to answer all that about education. So yeah, we're still trying to figure it out what kind of solution that we can bring. But as of now, we will certainly still, help them by helping from education, like to raise the awareness first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, do you get any sort of pushback or resistance when it comes to this? Because I'll give you an example. For example,
Yeah.
if you go to a family
Right.
who has been generations of farmers, let's say, and they say, well, my kid doesn't need an education because they're just going to
Yeah.
take over the family business.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's cases like that, especially
Sure.
in rural areas.
Right, right.
What sort of ways or strategies do you implement in order to approach this sort of resistance?
Right. So, of course, yeah. We have seen this kind of situation a lot.
Right, I'm sure.
But then again, two kind of approach we do. Of course, right, like what I've mentioned before. So first thing first, about from the parent side, because we cannot only like talk to the children and then say that, okay, education is important and you have to go to school, because it cannot go just
Yeah.
like that, right?
It's cliche, right?
Yeah, it's just
we've
a
heard it
cliche thing. But then why does that thing happen in the first place? Because of course, it must be for helping the parent to
Right.
to have a good economy, right? But then again, that's why non-formal education is
Can do the same, if not more, yeah.
That program exists to ensure that your role is to secure the economy, but your children's, area is to study first, and then they can decide where just to move forward with the business of the family or
Right.
not. So yeah, we have to, build this kind of mindset to them.
Yeah, we used to
also.
say it like there's nothing wrong with taking over a successful family business at that.
Right.
But also, it's nice for your young ones to have options. Like having an education
Yeah.
gives you options just in case. You never know when your pandemic might happen. Oops, one did happen 2 years ago, and things just suddenly get all scattered. And perhaps having an education is a good thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Can you tell us any success story from your project since doing it from 2018?
Okay, so well, maybe from the latest one. Okay, so we have this like non-formal education, right? And then why does it exist? It's actually because one area in Sulawesi. So start from there. So we were only like still like teaching the children, and then out of nowhere the society came to us to ask us about to educate them how to use technology, because they don't know anything about technology at all. So that's actually the first thing that came up to our mind. Oh, okay, so it's not only about children, right? So it's about them wanting to know more about things that happen lately in our, in our society. But then again, they want to know about the technology, and then they told us problems like, oh, so we sell like, kind of chili something, and then they say that it's not growing. It's only here and it's not growing, so we don't know anymore what to do about it. Right? And then we come up with this idea. Okay, so we have to help them how to sell this from the e-commerce. Why not, right? So from there, we help them by registrating, and then help them. So this is how to sell your products in e-commerce, and then
Basically,
how to
digital literacy, right?
Right,
Yeah, it's very
right.
important these days.
So it's actually from there, and then it grows until today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it grows until today, and then the sales are very, very amazing. And then they were like, okay, so this is very helpful for us. And then from there, that's the use case actually. So.
Yeah.
It's not only for children, of course, but it's also for the society.
It's a very challenging thing you guys are facing, because
Right.
it's almost like you cannot just go in there with a plan or a strategy.
Right.
Every village you go in first with like a blank page and say,
Right.
okay, what are your guys' obstacles right now in getting an education?
Well, actually, as for the children, we have this kind of curriculum that
Okay.
we have made. So it's not only like a blank page going there and
Right.
we do nothing,
For the
and
kids.
only asking like what you guys are,
Sure.
Yeah,
you're
and-
gonna do with that, yeah.
This
Okay.
is volunteer-based, right?
Right.
And the problem with volunteer-based is that usually consistency is a bit more challenging.
Right.
So how do you make sure that there's consistency in your program?
Okay, so of course, right? Because we want to aim the impactful, right? We want to be impactful for them. So every single year we open every single batch. So we have. I'm not going to say that we have sustainable, volunteers like going on every single year, because we always have this first batch, second batch, until fourth now, and every single year we open that registration, and it's always amazing, like the enthusiasm from the youth, because it's for the youth actually. So we start from the age of 18 to 24.
Okay.
Yeah, so they can do these volunteering things. So as of now, we have 8Ks or more even. As for the volunteers all over Indonesia, so that's amazing.
That's absolutely great. So 2022 is ending in 2 days, less than 48 hours to go.
Right.
What have you guys got planned for next year?
So actually, we're still undergoing our program now, the non-formal one. But as for like the next year, we will be having this formal education one for the children, right?
Okay, great. Very much looking forward. How can we learn more about your NGO?
Well, you guys can check it out on Instagram maybe, or we have the website, it's mengajardesa.org. So
Mengajar Desa.
Thank you so much for your
I'll
time.
check
and
that
for
out.
dropping
Thank
by and
you.
for doing what you do.
Yes,
Thank you so much for your
much.
time.
Thank you. And we are going to take our break at the moment, but we'll still have more interesting stories from Indonesia after after the break. Stay here on the C Morning Show.